That was probably one of the darkest points of my life. Mentally, I was just worn out. Physically, I was worn out. I didn't have the physical capacity to participate in life, and I just felt like the best of my life had passed me by at 42 years old, and I really felt that life was never going to get any better. I grew up in Eastern Kentucky, and food was a primary focus of life. Regardless of what we were doing, food actually became a comfort for me. So anytime there was anything wrong, I turned to food for comfort. Anything happy, we celebrated with food. And like I said, the little voice in my head just kept saying that this is the best your life is ever going to be. There was a desire to change at one point, but just the inability to make that change, unfortunately. So my life really continued to, I consider it just a downward spiral. The Dollywood event was pretty traumatic for me, actually. We had gone down there with my kids, my wife and I, taking my kids to Gatlinburg for a week vacation, and all week long, my daughter, who was 11 at the time, had talked about riding the roller coasters at Dollywood, and that's all she talked about. And I'd had a concern as to whether or not I'd be able to ride the rides. And once we actually got there, unfortunately, I was too big to fit on any of the rides. And my daughter, she told me it's okay. I mean, what's an 11-year-old girl gonna say? But it was hard. It was really tough. I had a friend from high school who had been overweight the majority of her life as well, and she ended up losing over 240 pounds. And that, to me, gave me that inspiration. And at that point in my life, I started to realize that if she could do it, then I could do it as well. And that's why I enjoy sharing my story now, because I hope to be able to pay it forward. I'm an attorney, and I sit at my desk quite a bit. And I think that contributed also to my weight gain, just the lifestyle or going to court, being on the road. It's easy to grab fast food, and it's just convenient, but no more. It's all changed. When I started back in February, I didn't know how much I weighed. I'd stopped getting on the scale. I was so embarrassed, and I really didn't want to know. The last time I remember getting on the scale, pretty sure I was around 385. But at this point, I'm down to right at 260, so around 125 pounds. I started realizing that I didn't get where I was overnight, and there was no way that I would be able to change it overnight or in a week or in a month. It was going to take a year, 2 years or more. So I just decided to dedicate myself to making small changes, and it was tough. I remember walking those first miles. It would take me 18 or 19 minutes to finish those, but I stuck to it. Now here I am on the verge of becoming an Ironman. I think it's just, to me, it's the pinnacle of athletic, mental, personal achievement. It's physical, so much physical, but there's just so much mental to it as well. And for me, it's the way I can beat that voice, and life can be good.